information in the disappearance of 3 American women in Mexico. 2 sisters and their friend drove from Texas to Mexico to sell clothes at a flea market almost 3 weeks ago, then vanished. The husband of one of the women lost contact and called police. The FBI is now involved with the investigation, sparking travel warnings to parts of Mexico during spring break. Correspondent Jorge Ventura is at the border for us this afternoon. Jorge, you spoke with the police chief in Penitas, Texas. What's the latest there?
Yeah, so right now, Mark, the FBI is on the investigation. The 3 women have been disappeared last month after they entered Mexico, actually through this port of entry right behind me. We spoke to the Penitas police chief today. He's telling NewsNation that the FBI isn't offering much details in the investigation. Take a listen.
Missing in Mexico. It's been nearly 3 weeks since Maritza Perez Rios, Marina Perez Rios, sisters, and Dora Saenz traveled from Texas to Montemorelos to sell clothes at a local flea market. That's the last time the whereabouts would be known. The 3 women entered Mexico on February 24th. The last person to hear from them was one of their husbands, who spoke to her on the phone while she was traveling to Montemorelos. He grew concerned after not hearing from her throughout the weekend and reported her disappearance to local authorities on February 27th. Penitas Police Chief Roel Bermeda was alerted of the disappearance and notified the FBI the very next day.
Contacted us on February the 27th, which is a Monday, and he just told us that his wife, along with his sister and a friend of the family, had he had lost contact with them, and that he was reporting them, trying to report them to see what we can do to help them. So we reported them missing, and we notified the FBI.
The women traveled in a 1995 green Chevy Silverado, license plate number PVR4472. It's still unclear how far into Mexico they made it. The Mexican state of Nuevo Leon, where the women went missing, is controlled by the Zetas, rivals to the Gulf Cartel.
The only thing that we know is that crossed into Tamaulipas, which is a port here in Anzalduas and Reynosa, and that they were heading towards Montemorelos, Nuevo Leon. As far as where they made it to, what town, what city, we don't know. That's all we know, that they did cross into Tamaulipas and they were headed towards Nuevo Leon.
Concerned family members of the women post to Facebook. They are sisters, they are cousins, they are aunts, and there are many people waiting for them. 2 of my aunties are missing. Those 2 mothers of families, those 2 working women, sisters, daughters, good friends are missing more than 10 days.
Everybody's concerned. I know, and the husband was distraught when he was telling us, but it has everybody's worried.
Their disappearance prompted the Texas Department of Public Safety to issue a warning to Texans. Drug cartel violence and other criminal activity represent a significant safety threat to anyone who crosses into Mexico right now.
The only thing I can say is if you're going into a foreign country, to be safe, try to go in groups and let people know where you're going.
Earlier this month, 4 Americans were kidnapped by the Gulf Cartel in Matamoros. 2 of the Americans, Shahid Woodard and Zidell Brown, were killed by the cartel. Eric Williams and Latava McGee were later found by Mexican authorities.
And Police Chief Bermeda is also telling us it's his first time in his 12-year career that members of his community have disappeared in Mexico. The search continues for the finding of those 3 women, but they're just hoping, Marky, for any type of update from the FBI at this moment.
Yeah, headed to the flea market, not been seen since. Gosh, Jorge Ventura at the border, thank you so much for that report.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.